Discover solutions to issues that affect your family and professional life with practical information to help you get past life's adversities. Take a proactive approach to power up your life with Rosalie's expert resources.
Do you feel overwhelmed with your kids' back-to-school demands and meeting everyone's busy schedule, including yours? So how can you survive your family's routine? Well, joining us this morning to share her back-to-school survival guide is TLC host Erica Petrini. Good morning, Erica.
Good morning, Rosalie. Thank you so much for having me.
It's tight every morning to get everyone fed and out the door to school and ourselves ready and off to work. It's stressful every morning.
Rosalie, why don't we start from the beginning, the morning routine? I have two kids. I have a girl and a boy. My daughter's all about her hair and her wardrobe at the moment. She's already into it. And so I had to find something to sort of streamline the process. I found this wonderful tool. It's called the Eco Tools Ultimate Air Dryer Hairbrush. It's got a really unique design that helps dry hair 40% faster with less heat damage, which is important to me as a mom. It also has these anti-tangle bristles, which will, if you use it right after the shower, it's going to get through all those pesky knots that my daughter constantly complains about. It's why she doesn't want to brush her hair. And also with this circle in the center, the way that it's designed, it acts as a, I'm blanking now. What's it called? It encourages curls and helps you get that nice natural wave. So it's great. All in all, what it means is that you have less drama in the morning and it takes less time to get ready.
So how can we make sure that our kids get out to school and on time every morning?
Right now, morning breakfast for most parents is a little bit crazy. You want to find something that's high quality. You want to find something that's quick and easy and that they really, really like so that they don't complain. My kids love the breakfast bagel bites, 100% cheese, sausage, bacon on a freshly baked bagel. Plus, they're a great source of protein with 8 to 10 grams of protein per serving. And what I love is that most breakfasts are full of sugar, not this one, only 2 grams of sugar, which is great.
My son would love for me to cook up a gourmet meal each morning, but I need to have a quick eat and grab healthy option.
We are so focused on getting the kids out the door and taking care of the kids, we forget to eat breakfast. You can't do that. You need energy just as much as they do. So I like to have a lot of grab and go options handy. Really like these Premier Protein bars. They're packed with protein, not calories and sugar. 30 grams of protein per bar. The variety pack, which has the chocolate peanut butter and the dark chocolate mint, 2 of my favorite flavors.
Any tips to keep hungry kids energized through that midday slump that's not full of sugar?
My kids, they get off the bus and the first thing out of their mouth is like, I'm starving, what's for lunch? And they have a noon packed with activities. So I've got to give them something that's going to give them that energy they need. Popcorn, genius. Simple, easy to make, really inexpensive, 100% whole grain, gluten-free, GMO-free, you name it. Plus, they just like to eat it, which is even most important to me. It's inexpensive to make it for your family or for an entire soccer team. And you can get together either the night before or the week before, and you can get a little bit creative. Ask them to make their own little trail mix. You can include cranberries, seeds, cinnamon. So if you go to my website at ericavitrini.com and you click on the blog post, you'll find these and additional tips for back to school.
Thanks, Erica, for sharing your back-to-school survival tips. And we'll see you towards the end of the show with more survival tips on decreasing stress for parents and children.
Thank you, Rosalie.
The true challenges in life are health challenges, like cancer. Are you aware of how important our thyroid is? And the several hormones that it produces to help control our body temperature, weight, energy level, and heart rate? Joining us this morning to discuss the truth and myths about thyroid cancer is Dr. Marcia Brose, Associate Professor of Otorhinolaryngology, Head and Neck Surgery at the Hospital of the University of Pennsylvania, and thyroid cancer patient Victoria Ballesteros. Good morning, ladies. How are you this morning?
We're great, thank you.
Terrific.
Victoria, tell us about your experience when you were diagnosed with thyroid cancer.
Well, I didn't really have any symptoms to speak of. I actually just found a really large lump on my neck, and I went in immediately to see my doctor, and of course went through the process of having the neck or the lump biopsied. I had surgery, and when I woke up from the surgery, I was told that they had found cancer in there and they had taken out my thyroid. And the surgeon told me, don't worry, you got the good cancer. If you're going to get cancer, this is the one you want. But of course, I immediately had severe complications from the surgery and was in the hospital for a week. And 5 years later to this day, I'm still dealing with side effects of the treatment. You know, I've undergone large doses of radioactive iodine treatment. I take medication every morning, and I will have to for the rest of my life. You know, I struggle with some of the things that you mentioned. I struggle with my weight. It fluctuates. My energy levels fluctuate. I have had some heart issues, and you know, I struggle to sleep at night. And then, of course, there's also the emotional long-term impacts, including you know, having to have blood work every 3 months to make sure that everything's okay and the cancer hasn't come back. You know, it's very anxiety provoking to have to think about that and hope that your doctor's going to come back and tell you that everything's okay. So it has been a long journey, and it hasn't been a good one.
All of my patients will tell you that cancer is cancer, and it's a terrible thing to be told that it's a good cancer. The term came about because the vast majority of patients are successfully treated, but as Victoria will tell you today, patients who even are successfully treated will actually have significant effects that will happen for the rest of their lives. So it's not a good cancer. It actually, any cancer is a bad cancer, and that's a myth we like to dispel today.
So doctor, what are some of the warning signs of thyroid cancer?
Well, so to start out, all thyroid cancer will require surgery, and that is really, once the thyroid cancer has been diagnosed, thyroidectomy, which is the removal of the thyroid gland, is indicated. However, there are different types of thyroid cancer, and only the ones that are associated with what we call differentiated thyroid cancer, which are the follicular, Hürthle, or papillary subtypes, will actually get treated with radioactive iodine. Medullary thyroid cancer actually is not treated with radioactive iodine, and we also don't use it for anaplastic thyroid cancer, which are the other two types. But most importantly, I want to stress to your viewers the fact that most patients don't have any symptoms. In fact, blood tests will not pick it up, and many times they won't feel anything other than the lump in their throat. So we want to encourage people periodically to do a what we call a neck check. Feel their throat, see if they feel any bumps, because most of them are asymptomatic. They want to just feel here at the base of their throat, and if they have a nodule, or if a primary care doctor feels a nodule, say an OBGYN or at their regular yearly physical, to make sure to pursue it, follow it up, get an ultrasound, make sure that the diagnosis is made so that they know if they do have thyroid cancer, they can act on it really right away.
And do all thyroid cancer patients require surgery and lifelong medication?
Well, so most patients will. So 90% of the patients will have successful treatment, but actually they will, some of them will still need radioactive iodine even after successful surgery. So the treatment doesn't necessarily stop there. And then for the rest of their lives, they'll need to have what we call hormone replacement, where they'll have thyroid pills that they'll have to take every day.
So doctor, what long-term or short-term complications can occur as a result of thyroid cancer treatment?
Well, long-term complications can include trouble with their levels of their hormones, so they might have fatigue and energy levels, which Victoria can talk about more, but also they might eventually have trouble with scar tissue in their neck. They might have difficulty swallowing, and most worrisome is the fact that it can recur, and sometimes it can recur very late. So patients need to be continually monitored with blood tests and sometimes even ultrasounds and other imaging tests for the rest of their lives, because if it does come back, they will need additional treatments at that point. So those are some of the medical sort of sequelae that we would see after somebody's had surgery.
Victoria, as a thyroid cancer advocate, how has your life changed?
Well, I've become much more involved with thyca.org, which again is the Thyroid Cancer Survivors Association, but I'm also so excited to share with you this campaign that we're kicking off today. It's the Truth About TC campaign, and it really is an effort to raise awareness and dispel this myth of thyroid cancer somehow being a good cancer. So this campaign is really something that anyone can support, and we encourage everyone to support this great cause. It's a partnership between 3 organizations, Thyroid, the Light of Life Foundation, and AZI. And so everyone can post on their favorite social media using the hashtag #TruthAboutTC. They can post a photo of themselves, they can hold up a sign, they can tag their friends using that hashtag #TruthAboutTC. Every time someone uses that hashtag on their favorite social media, AZI will donate $1 up to $50,000 to these two very important nonprofit organizations that provide tremendous support and resources to thyroid cancer patients like myself. There's more information available at thyroid.org and also lightoflifefoundation.org.
Thank you, Dr. Brose and Victoria, for joining us this morning to create awareness of thyroid cancer treatments and the resources available.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Environmental issues, community issues, disability issues, government issues, targeting the issues, disability mentoring, teen reckless driving, hurricane security. Come join me on these issues and more on the Rosalie Archer Show, Thursday, 6:30 a.m. on ION TV. Severe weather events can impact your family. Each year, damages from hurricanes, fires, tornadoes, floods, earthquakes, and winter storms cost $29 billion. Complacent homeowners, renters, and business owners underestimate their financial risk. Joining us to discuss insurance-related issues affecting a consumer's home or business against an impending disaster is Jean Salvatore, Senior Vice President and Chief Communication Officer and Consumer Spokesperson for Public Affairs at the Insurance Information Institute. Good morning, Jean.
Good morning. And you know what? Complacency really is the enemy. That is one of the biggest problems that we have, and it's unfortunate because just with a little bit of planning, you can be ready for a really bad storm. So it's really important that everybody reviews their insurance, that they sit down with their insurance professional with a list of all their questions and make sure that all of those questions are answered.
Jean, as an industry liaison expert, you've helped victims across the nation during natural disasters like Hurricane Katrina and Superstorm Sandy. So tell us what insurance risk Floridians face from Miami to Jacksonville, all the way to the west coast of Tampa.
Well, you really are in a disaster-prone area, so it's important that people understand what's covered and what's not. You are covered for hurricanes and wind and fire, since you do have fires there as well. The one big disaster that's not covered is flooding, and you need to buy separate flood insurance. And in fact, it's really easy to get. You can get flood insurance from the National Flood Insurance Program as well as from a few private insurance companies. So it's really easy to get. And people tend to underestimate the risk of flooding, but 90% of all natural disasters have some form of flooding. So definitely consider getting flood insurance.
And let's not forget, Tampa Bay to Daytona Beach has been hit 33 times, including 5 major hurricanes. And Orlando, Central Florida area, experienced 12 hurricanes, including a Category 3 hurricane named Donna in 1960. So talk about Florida floods.
Right. No, and one other thing is you have a lot of renters that, in fact, Miami has one of the highest percentage of renters anywhere in the country, but throughout Florida you have a lot of renters, and these are renters who are moving into expensive buildings that have just been built in the last couple of years. And renters need to get their own renter's insurance, but renters can also purchase flood insurance.
Every one of our 5 Florida ION TV markets here in the state of Florida and southern Georgia needs to be proactive to prepare for a storm or a hurricane.
Well, that's another thing that's really important, is that you should look at your home and take steps now to make it more hurricane resistant. The Insurance Institute for Business and Home Safety has a lot of really good tips on what to do. So that's something that you should be doing now. You should also be thinking about your evacuation plan, that if you can't stay in your home and if the authorities say, look, you have to go somewhere else, you want to start thinking about that now. You do not want to wait until somebody says, you know what, it's a good idea that you leave. Think about it now. And if you have pets, if you've got an elderly person in your family, if you have somebody who's handicapped, any situation where there's some special needs, you need advanced planning. So you're going to have to think about this a little bit more and think about it ahead of time. But you need to know where you're going to go and what you're going to take, and the time to do that is before there's a storm.
Jean, can you share an insurance checklist and free resources to keep our viewers safe?
The Insurance Information Institute has a hurricane insurance checklist. We also have a library of apps on disaster preparedness. One is to do a home inventory, another's on Know Your Coverage, and a third one is on Know Your Plan. So we have a full library of resources, as well as some really great videos that take insurance, make it easy to understand, and they're actually fun to watch.
All right, where can we find all this helpful information?
III.org. It's all free and it's really easy, great consumer tips.
Thanks, Jean, for joining us this morning to create awareness to get out that insurance policy before a storm or natural disaster hits to keep our property and our families safe. Environmental issues, community issues, disability issues, government issues, targeting the issues. Disability mentoring, teen reckless driving, hurricane security. Come join me on these issues and more on the Rosalie Archer Show, Thursday, 6:30 a.m. on ION TV. Getting your family prepared for a disaster takes less time than you think. But if a disaster hits your community, having a plan for what to do and stocking up on basic supplies can make all the difference in how safely and comfortably you make it through the crisis. So if you're prepared at home and you have a plan, then you'll be able to cope with the problem until help arrives. Visit ready.gov for a complete list of suggested items to help prepare a family emergency plan. Keep your items fresh, even if it means shopping for a few items at a time. You will quickly have a kit to ensure you and your family are prepared for an emergency. Don't forget to have a copy of the emergency plan together with insurance forms and documents, birth certificates and financial forms in your emergency supply kit. Make sure you replace expired emergency kit items and keep your contact information current. No matter where you live, there is a natural disaster that can strike without warning. You can use the Family Emergency Plan on ready.gov to organize family information and help you develop a plan that will work for you. Identify someone locally and out of state and ask them to be your contact person in case of an emergency, and learn how to send text updates via text messaging to your friends and family. Inquire about emergency plans at places where your family spends time at work, school, church, or recreational activities. Get to know your Florida's local resources available in your community at ready.gov. It can link you up to local emergency information and contact numbers to shelters and evacuations, and how to get local alerts and warnings. Where or when the next disaster will happen is unknown, but taking a few steps to prepare yourself will strengthen your ability to get through it. Take a few minutes to check out the tips and tools available on ready.gov that makes getting prepared easy. Here in Florida, we all remember Craig Fugate, who got us through many hurricane seasons as the past director of Florida's Division of Emergency Management. Now he has a message for all of our Florida viewers as the administrator of the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA.
If you're living in a hurricane-prone area, now's the time to get ready and find out about what your local plans are in your community, whether or not you live in an evacuation zone, and what you need to do to protect you and your family. You can follow FEMA this year as we go through hurricane season together by going to our website at www.fema.gov and looking for our social media tubes, where we'll be posting updates through our Twitter accounts, through our Facebook accounts, and on YouTube. But we all need to do our part. Do yours by getting a family disaster plan now. And this year for hurricane season, follow me as we go through this together at Craig at FEMA on Twitter. And together, we'll work to make sure that we take care of our families and respond and recover from this hurricane season.
Here back as promised with more busy family survival tips to decrease parents' and children's stress is TLC host Erica Petrini. Erica, according to a WebMD Stress in Children's Consumer Survey, nearly 1 in 5 parents rated their own stress levels at a maximum of 10 out of 10. And 60% of parents rated their kids' stress at a 4 or below. Additionally, the American Academy of Pediatrics reports a child's stress can increase with the family stress, especially if it's not recognized.
As you just said there, since it's related to the parents, I think it's about us keeping our stress levels down, which is why I think this is such an important segment. I've partnered with some great companies to hopefully give you some answers to what we're talking about today. I think it does talk about streamlining processes and making sure you do a lot of planning beforehand, and I think we've got some great tips for you. And as you said before, we plan and we plan and we plan. We're so stressed out about having the perfect breakfast, the perfect timing for everything, but it doesn't always work out. So have a backup plan. With breakfast in particular, I like to have an on-the-go option because I don't always have time to sit down, and my kids don't always have time to sit down. I love the Lance Quick Start breakfast biscuit sandwiches. They've got the nutrition to get you through the morning. They're a great source of B vitamins, fiber, whole grains. They've got 3 grams of protein per serving, and they're grab and go. You simply pick them up and walk out that door, so you can get rid of a little bit of stress in the morning about feeling like you have to put out a warm breakfast. You don't always have to. This is a great option. And they've got great flavors like blueberry muffin and cinnamon roll, things the kids won't say no to.
So what tips do you have to help get kids back on track and not fall into that after-school slump?
Yeah, you know, my child comes off the bus and all she can say to me is, I'm tired and I'm hungry. And then all I can think about is, oh my goodness, we have a whole day, afternoon of activities that we need to conquer. So I want to give her a warm snack. I like the Hot Pocket snack bites with 4 pieces per serving. They're a great source of protein. They have no artificial flavors. They've got premium ingredients like their hickory ham, their signature pepperoni, and 100% real cheese. This is the sort of snack, it's a little heartier, that's going to give them the energy they need to get through a long day. And they come in these great flavors. So like the pepperoni pizza is one of my kids' favorites. The hickory ham and cheddar is another one. And they're delicious. So this is a little serving size right here. What a perfect little snack.
And it's so important to make sure kids are getting what they need.
Yeah. You know, I think that's really cool. Talking about stress levels and success. If they can't see in the classroom, there's a bit of stress there. I mean, they don't even realize it, but it's key to their success. So I think while we're really good about getting our kids their annual physicals, we don't always give them their routine eye exams. So make sure you're on top of that. That's a big tip. And if for some reason you find out that your child does need glasses, which is typical. My kids will. I know I did. aclens.com. Fantastic. It's going to have all of your family's eyewear needs online. It's a one-stop shop partner. They have lenses, they have sunglasses, they've got all the latest styles so that your kids can kind of get excited about wearing glasses. They got the SpongeBob SquarePants and the Hello Kitty and all kinds of really fun things. Plus they've got wonderful customer service that will get you through the process and make that a seamless, smooth process for you.
So what recommendations can you offer to set up your kids for success?
I think this is so important. You know, we always think that when it comes to activities, it's quantity over quality. It's not. It's the opposite. It's quality over quantity. Find activities that build character and build confidence. I love the Girl Scout. I was a Girl Scout. They're the largest girl-led organizations where girls call the shots. They are great at creating fun opportunities for girls to make decisions and learn while doing. They complement the school curriculum by teaching them how to approach challenges and how to deal with their mistakes. or to learn from their mistakes. They also help teach them social and emotional skills, which is not necessarily a focus in the classroom. I can't say enough good things. When I was 5, I moved to a new town, and I was totally stressed out because I didn't know any of the kids, and my mother signed me up for Girl Scouts. I had a community of friends immediately. I was having so much fun trying all these new things that I never would have tried if it wasn't for Girl Scouts. So just a wonderful organization. I can't say enough. The cookies are great, but it goes beyond that even. I mean, it's so much more. And if you want to get involved, you can go to girlscouts.org/join.
Thanks so much, Erica, for all of the important points parents need to remember to keep the stress of our busy lives at a minimum and the success of our kids at a maximum.
Thank you, Rosalie. I really appreciate it.
Parent stress creates family stress. Kids today deal with stress at home and stress from peer pressure. According to the Florida Department of Juvenile Justice, public safety and delinquency in Florida are trending down in the past 2 years, with substantial reductions in almost every major offense category, including the most serious juvenile offenses.
One thing I learned from my counselors is to keep it cool.
That I can strive to be better. They built my spirit back up.
One brother, he's in and out of prison. He's on his way back to prison now. I got one brother in the graveyard now, and I just gotta make a change for my mother. I don't want to be the next victim or statistic.
Community prevention program partners reduce juvenile crime and protect public safety while increasing youth self-esteem in high-risk juveniles. Florida's AMI Kids works in partnerships with youth agencies, local communities, and families to offer troubled youth the support they need.
Even kids with a troubled past have the potential to reach a bright future.
It made me realize life isn't all about drugs, gangs, street life and all that. It's more about family, loyalty, and getting education.
With guidance and direction, young people can be inspired to discover the best that is within them.
Felicia Rashad offers her celebrity status to advance and improve the lives of our youth.
AMI Kids empowers kids to reach their potential by transforming their lives. For more information, visit our website and join us. Together we can change lives and strengthen our communities.
Take the time to learn more on how you can reach out to improve a young life at AMIkids.org.
Mentoring opens doors for students and job seekers with disabilities. Open the door to an all-inclusive workplace. Watch the upcoming episodes of Disability Mentoring and get involved in your community. Be a mentor.
Parents, keep your family stress down and kids happy in school. The Bureau of Justice Statistics reports 75% of America's state prison inmates are high school dropouts. Protect your family from a natural disaster by developing a family emergency plan, and get started today to strengthen your ability to get through a disaster and decrease that family stress. Share with us your family's emergency plan at our facebook.com/Rosalie Show, or follow us on Instagram at The Rosalie Show and share a picture. Watch this episode and dozens of past episodes at the RosalieArcherShow.com website. Thanks for joining us this morning, and we'll see you soon.